now it is okay. So tell me, how are you?
Okay. I'm good, ma'am. Thank you so much for asking. And what about you?
Yes, I'm doing well as well. So I think you mailed a couple of months ago.
Yes, ma'am. I mailed you that time, and after that, I think my mobile, my mobile got damaged, and due to that reason, I don't mailed you again. But a few days back, and that time after that, for 2 to 3 months, I was on break. Like I was not connecting with English, and it's a long story.
Because
Four
I
to
remember
yeah.
texting you back, but I didn't
So
get any
that's
reply. Okay, okay.
Yes, ma'am. And that time I think you were sick too. So
Hmm.
you told me that you are sick.
Yes, yes, yes. I can't exactly remember because
I
I
hope
get
you.
multiple mails from the same name. So it becomes difficult for
Yes,
me to remember
yes,
whom
ma'am.
I replied and whom I did not. Okay, so finally we are meeting and talking today. So tell me, how's everything going? How's your life going on?
Life is going on. Okay, okay. Like there
Okay.
are a lot of ups and downs in between, but now it is okay. And thank you so much for accepting my request. I was like eagerly waiting for this to have this conversation with you. And thank you so much, ma'am. And I really like the way you speak with other co-learners and the way you teach everyone. I think I love your entire personality. I
Oh,
was eagerly waiting to say this to you.
oh, thank you so much. That's really sweet of you. Thank you. Okay, so you mind introducing yourself?
Yes, yes, sure, ma'am. So, as you know, my name is Akanksha. I am basically from Uttarakhand, but currently residing in Delhi. And I am married. I have a baby, and I hold a bachelor degree in BSc. And
Okay.
I am full-time homemaker right now. And a couple months ago, I started my YouTube channel as well about English learning, and I am just sharing my own experiences of learning English, and that's all about
Mm-hmm.
myself.
So what type of content do you post? Are you posting conversations?
And right now, I'm not posting actually. As I told you that I was disconnected with English for I think for 3 to 4 months. But before that, I was posting about my own. I was just sharing my own experiences that how I learned English, and I was just trying to help others who wants to learn English, but they are thinking that they cannot learn this language. I was just trying to make or share my own experiences. I
Nice.
haven't made any English conversation with you.
Okay. So what is
This
the
is
name
the
of your
first time
channel?
when I'm having.
Okay, just by your name. Right, right. This is your first video session?
Yes, ma'am, this is the very first time when I'm having conversation through video call.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why I'm a bit nervous as well.
Don't worry, don't worry. So your baby is sleeping right now.
Yes, I just put her into sleep. So
Hmm.
that's why I was thinking that please be on time. I was praying that, ma'am, we will on time.
I understand the tension. You always your half of the mind is towards, will the baby wake up? Will I be able to finish this
Yes, ma'am.
conversation? I understand.
That's why I chose you because I think you can totally understand this entire thing, like because you also have babies and you are like managing everything. You are working and you are homemaker as well, like you are managing both of these things. That's why I was thinking that I only have conversation with you.
Okay. No problem because I think nowadays people are a bit broad-minded and they understand the issues because they know, like, they
Yes,
at least have some women in their life and they know that it is a problem, and people are pretty accommodating these days. So nothing to worry about that.
yes, ma'am, that's true. But if you have experienced something, it's like it's quite more
Yes.
easy to understand that.
There is a difference between knowing and understanding. Once you've been through it, you will get a different kind of understanding. So that's true.
Yes, that's true.
So,
Yeah.
so tell me, is there any specific reason why you are polishing your English skills?
Ma'am, there is no any. I think nowadays English is. We cannot say that we need to. We need any specific reason to learn this language because there are so many reasons. Nowadays, English for me, English is not just a language. It is like an skill. So because when you learn English, I think you get more opportunities in your career, in
Mm.
job purpose also. If a person knows how to speak in this language, they are getting promotions and they like we prefer English first because it is a global language, and like most of the people, and because it is widely used
Yes.
using language. So
Mm.
that is the reason I want to learn this. There are
Mm.
several reasons, I guess, because I want to, because as I am a homemaker, so right now I am not going anywhere. So I just want to work on myself first, so that when my baby grow up, and then I will do something like
Yeah, you can
in
also
career.
provide an environment for your child. And it is always good to learn a new
Yes,
skill.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I can teach my child, and I can do well in my career as well. Like if you have good command over this language, I think people are getting more chances in their career because of
Yes.
this language. So that's why I chose to learn this language.
Mm. Do you wish to
And you
work?
can watch a lot of movies. Of course, ma'am, I always wanted to work, but because right now I have a baby, so I cannot work. But I have always this mindset that I want to work.
But how is this period of yours where you're at home and you're taking care of your baby? So, what kind of emotions or feelings are you having?
Yes, ma'am, a lot. Like initially when I had my baby and she was too little, that time I was dying to do something for myself. Like I was feeling like I'm not doing anything for myself. I was not getting time for myself to, because I love to read books, I love to watch movies, and I was not getting time to do anything for myself. So that time I was feeling so like I was in that phase where I just wanted to do something for me. Like when you do only household chores and you are just taking care of your baby, you feel like you have nothing to do for yourself.
Yeah.
You feel like you are not growing.
Totally, I totally feel you because
It is,
every woman would have gone through this phase. It's too frustrating at times. Yes, the only pleasure is your baby and you're happy with
yes, ma'am.
that time.
Yes, ma'am. That the only thing was about that I was sad and happy at the same time because I have a baby. So I was a little bit sometimes used to be very irritated because the only thing I was doing is to taking care of her and doing household chores. I was not doing anything for myself, and it is like my confidence was so down. If I that time if I used to go to public, I used to feel like how to speak in public. Like
Mm.
exactly, I was very, my confidence was too down at that time because I was staying only at home and I was not doing anything for myself. So that's why maybe.
And for a few
And before
months, you
that, I
can
was
move
not.
out. Sorry, before that?
Before that, I was not that kind of person who has very low confidence. So that's why.
It happens because the body changes, and for many, many months, we are at home just taking care of the baby all the time. Suddenly, when we go out, we feel that we don't belong
Yes,
here. We become conscious.
yes, ma'am. Exactly. I used to think that people are doing so many things and I am just doing household chores. So it made me feel very bad, and that's why I started learning English. Before that, I also used to learn English language, but then after that, I tried to get time for myself and I tried to utilize that time to
Mm.
learn something.
Okay. So whenever now you have free time, what do you do? Do you have any specific hobby?
Specific hobbies sometimes, like I love to reading books, I love to listening to music and watching movies.
Mm.
These are my hobbies, and sometimes like whenever I get time I read books. But nowadays, because my baby is 19 months old and she is in her toddler phase right now, so whenever I try to read book, she just, like, she also wants to read book. If I'm reading book, if I'm using my mobile, she also wants to use my mobile. So it's
Mm.
very tough to get me time.
There's one positive thing to that as well. Try to choose books which are more colorful, like story books, which you can read to your daughter as well. So that way you can repeatedly read a book. It will enhance your English. And when you're reading it out to your daughter, she can look at the pictures, and it is kind of a bonding time for you. You like choose a book which even she can see the pictures, and you can narrate it to her. That way it's a good bonding time, and you will have your English practice also. And reading books to your child, it is a different kind of happiness you will feel because you're teaching them something, they're learning something. So you can try that.
Yes, ma'am, that's true. I will definitely try this. Right now, I have some books, but these are like fruits on those books. There are fruits name, vegetables name, but I don't have a stories book for her yet. But I will buy.
Okay, you can buy that hard bind books where the pages they cannot be torn. They are made up of cardboard. Choose story books like that. Very nice
Yes,
pictures and description. So you can read it.
yes,
Even the English is pretty good. You can read it repetitively. You can show
yes,
her.
ma'am. I can. Yes,
And
true.
since she is already 19 months old, she will understand. She will understand what you're telling her. So I can tell that out of experience.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She is nowadays. She is understanding a lot of things. Whatever we are telling her, if we are giving her any command or anything, she is getting that.
Hmm. Okay. So you told me you're not consistent in your English.
I think for 3 to 4 months I was totally disconnected with English language. Before that I was consistent, and this one thing I really want to share with all who are learning this language, because what happened is I started learning this language 2 years back, and that time I was consistently learning, and I was working on for the all the four aspects like listening, reading, writing, speaking. So that time I was speaking not fully fluent, but I was like able to convey my thoughts without rethinking, and without I didn't have to think twice before saying anything. That time I was very like, I'm not saying that I was fully fluent, but I was good at that time. So what happened after that, I take a huge break like for 3 to 4 months, and because of that I totally forget whatever I have learned,
Hmm.
and it feels like my entire hard work and efforts just drained. So, and before 4 or 5 days ago, I suddenly I remembered that I have forgot all those things, and I am not able to speak now. So that's why I made you again, and I took it like I thought maybe I should give it a shot, and otherwise I am not going to start it again. And I was very nervous before that, like I was too nervous that if I am not able to speak on video call, because as I told you, this is my first time and I have not been practicing for very long. So, but still I thought maybe I should try this and do this courage, and otherwise I am not going to restart. I will be very lazy, and I wouldn't be able to do this.
So congratulations, at least you
So
showed
only
courage.
4 or 5, yes, ma'am, yes. But yes, ma'am, if you are learning this language, if someone is learning this language, they should not leave this in middle. Like they should be consistent, because consistency can only help you to improve this language. Otherwise, if you will leave in middle, then you will forget whatever you have learned, because it's a skill and you have to be consistent with it. And this thing I learned through my experience.
That's a good message to people. It's important that you stay consistent. At least you have to do your listening and speaking practice. I mean, listening and reading practice. If you're
Yes,
not in a situation to indulge in
yes, ma'am.
conversations, then you have to do at least reading and speaking.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying that I did a huge mistake, because I was not reading, I was not listening, I was not writing, I was not doing anything. At least if I would like listen, so I was, at least I would be getting some like English words subconsciously, but I was not even listening in English content. So that's why it was a huge mistake, and that's
Mm.
why I am stuck right now a lot because of
Mm.
that.
Because of that
But
you're getting stuck now. So you have learned from your experience, right? So from here on, try to be consistent. At least do your listening practice. Whenever you have time, when we have
yes,
extra time,
ma'am.
right? When we are doing household chores, you can do your listening practice. And it is not that everything has gone waste, because for 2 years you were learning English, and it shows your English is not that bad. You're still able to manage. You're able to convey your thoughts. I think you have to focus more on grammar now, tenses especially. You're getting
Yes,
your
ma'am.
tenses wrong. So focus
Yes,
on that. And from
yes,
here on, try to be consistent. And speaking practice you have to do either in audio calling or video calling. Speaking practice is a must. Whenever your baby sleeps 15-20 minutes, audio calling is also okay because you don't have time right now. At least you will be in touch with the language.
yes, ma'am. But your teaching way is like amazing. The way you teach and the way you, I think your voice is also very soothing.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I'm in the right field.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So is there
Do
any
you
other?
I'm like, yes, ma'am.
No, go ahead. You were asking.
Are you still teaching on platforms, on any other platforms?
No, I stopped teaching on that platform once my YouTube channel like took maybe 2 or 3 months I got monetized, so it was working well. So once it took off, I stopped working there because it
Yes,
was difficult to manage both.
yes, yes, yes.
Mm.
And it's quite like on YouTube, you have your own whenever you want to work. It's all depend on you.
Yes, yes. Whenever my kids are at school, I work at that time only. So it is pretty manageable.
Yes, and it's good because then you can manage your home and your work as well.
That's right, without having any guilty feeling. Otherwise, you feel that I'm working and I'm not giving
Yes,
priority to children, not taking care of the house. You always have that guilty feeling.
yes, exactly. Like I have known someone nowadays, women are working and they send their child to preschools.
Yes.
But I think they must have that guilt that they are not prioritizing their kids and they are not giving their kids enough time, or you know, their kids need their parents' time right now because they are very little and they need their parents. Only we can teach. I think as a parent, only we can teach them something like if until they are like I'm not saying about a school thing like subject teaching or anything, but
Mm.
until they are 4 or 5, that they need us.
Yes, that's right. And we cannot actually judge people out of this, right? Maybe they have their own limitations. They have to go out and work. Maybe they have something like that. But for me, it was privileged enough that I can stay at home and it is okay for me. So it is manageable with in my family
Yes,
situation. So it is possible. But there are so many women who are in a different situation. They have to go out and work. So it is sorry for them,
yes, ma'am.
especially in bigger cities. They will lose their job, then they will get a lot of career gap, which they cannot again restart. They have their own dreams and priorities. It's difficult.
Yes, ma'am. That's true. That's true too. And that's why I'm not just saying that they are doing anything wrong,
Yeah.
but I think they must have that guilt there. Like somewhere they are guilty because they can't do anything about it.
Yes, women who go for work, they think that okay, women are at home, they're taking having quality time with their children, they are so lucky. But women who are at home, we feel that they are managing both. They are so lucky, they are so energetic. How they are able to manage? We look at them with inspiration, and they look at us with wow, they're having a
Yes,
good time with their family.
that's true. That's true. I totally feel it, man. Because I am also all the time at home, and sometimes I feel like I want to go to work and I want to do like this thing as well. So it's quite
Mm.
confusing.
Yeah, no problem because your the child is little, right? So once she is 3, 3.5, you'll put her to preschool. Then you yourself can start working at a school, or you have your time. So that time you can do.
Yes,
Nowadays we have so many opportunities, so definitely you can do something.
it is. Yes, ma'am.
But until then, I would suggest you keep yourself prepared. Like whatever challenges you will get, maybe for interviews, your English, personality, you need to develop everything and utilize this time period for that. Don't just waste it. Whatever content you're consuming it English, do your reading, listening, speaking practice. At least half an hour is a day is enough. At least do that much. It's important to be
Yes,
consistent. What you do in that time, that is important, not how much time you're giving for it. So make the maximum use of it. And it is not at all evident that this is your first video session because you're speaking quite well. It's not that you're running out of thoughts on what to speak, or it doesn't show on your face that you're nervous. You're pretty okay. Further, you can enhance it by talking to more people and strangers.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you made me comfortable while talking because before that I was very nervous, but after talking to you, I feel comfortable.
That's okay. We are just having a casual conversation here. No problem at all. So I would suggest reach out to as many people as possible. At this time only, whenever your baby sleeps, have a conversation. Along with her, do your reading practice. Along with your household chores, do your listening practice. Find your own way how you can
Yes,
do
ma'am.
it, but be consistent. That's all.
Thank you so much. More videos like this to have more conversation videos with. There are so many co-learners out there.
Yes. And I think you should because you already have your YouTube channel. So have conversations. That way, people who want to talk to you can get in touch with you. And you can stay consistent with your practice, at least in the form of your YouTube channel. At least weekly 2 videos also is
Yes.
enough.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, when I started this channel, I started in the hope of, like, I started that's the reason was starting this YouTube channel was that I can improve my English through this channel, because if I'm uploading videos, I will definitely work on myself then, because then I have this thing in my mind that somebody is going to watch my videos. So I have to work more for that. That's why I created that channel, to improve my English and to help others as well who is thinking that they cannot learn this language, because I came from a very rural area of Uttarakhand and I did my schooling in Hindi medium, through Hindi medium. So that time I used to think is that I can never speak in this language. I used to think that only who belongs in English medium school, only they can speak in this language. But that's why I just want to share my experience with others, that they can also speak in this language. I think anyone can speak in this language. There is no such thing that nobody can speak in this language.
Right. It is possible that you can inspire other people because everybody feels I'm from Hindi medium, I'm never going to learn. But you are a person who learned by yourself. So I think you can share your techniques, what
Yes,
helped you, those kind of videos, and you can have conversations and further improve yourself also.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, is there anything else before we wind up the session?
Nothing, ma'am. It was a nice talking to you, and I'm feeling so good because you gave me feedback, and I'm definitely going to work on those things. And thank you so much for accepting my request. I was like eagerly waiting for this day, and I'm so grateful to have a conversation with you. Thank you so much, ma'am. And it feels like only 15 minutes. Like I didn't feel like it is going to
More
end.
than half. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And we didn't have to choose any specific topic because you were quite comfortable sharing, right? You spoke well. So that is how a conversation has to be, rather than being like an interview or interrogation. It was a nice casual conversation. You spoke really well. Have further conversations if you
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
choose topics so that you will get vocabulary on different topics and you can further improve your English as well.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good luck and bye bye. It was lovely talking to you.